right, man. While we was talking to the chat, I came across a tweet that says Emiru was accusing Mizkif of a couple things, and she's still currently live, talking about some more things. So we're gonna check this out. I'm gonna skip through a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Shout out to the second channel.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people here who don't normally watch, and if you're wondering, yes, I do normally run 20-minute intros, and yes, my community at least claims that they like it. I think that they like it. I like playing songs for you guys, but anyway, yeah, anyway.
She sounds nervous.
We don't like it? Okay, well, whatever. Ooh, so, yeah, like I said before, it's been a pretty crazy week, and a lot of things have happened since the last time that I streamed in relation to what I talked about last week, the whole TwitchCon incident. Yep. Okay. Some other things happened that kind of pushed me to talk about a lot of things that I want to talk about today. So as you can see, I wrote out my notes, and
damn.
Not only that,
damn. Hold on. Oh yeah, she got a lot to talk about.
Not only that, I have even more notes. So yeah, if it seems like I'm like reading a script or something, it's because I wrote super detailed notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah.
Yeah, she's nervous.
Okay. So, I think everyone knows.
Who is this? This is Emiru. She was the one who got attacked at TwitchCon like last week.
It was about last week, the stuff that happened at TwitchCon. I was assaulted, and the guy was able to leave the venue, basically. Okay, so like intro, first thing that I want to talk about is I did see the Twitch tweet that I believe went out yesterday. I was literally in a Discord call with my friends, and they were like, "Did you see that Twitch apologized to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without like consulting me or anything. I didn't know
I
if they were
saw
gonna do
that tweet. So I saw that tweet, but I didn't read it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that, you know, they're trying to like take some level of accountability, but there's a lot of things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned. But anyway, more stuff's been happening behind the scenes. So I want to say that last week, everything I said on my stream was accurate, obviously.
Okay.
Obviously, except for one thing. I was wrong about one thing. I was going over the tweet that Twitch initially put out, where they're like, "Oh yeah, this thing happened to a high-profile creator. You know, police were on site. We're cooperating with law enforcement investigations." What I was wrong about was they were not cooperating with law enforcement investigations. I found that out on Monday when I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, "Hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through."
How are you gonna put out a warrant for somebody? What the fuck, Twitch? How are you gonna put out a warrant for somebody if you don't know their name? Okay, bro. All right, bro, for sure.
Which, if you know anything about that stuff, it usually takes a while. Even, you know, if it's expedited, which it was being expedited for me, but it still takes a lot of time. And they're like, yeah, they're refusing to give us
like, and that's what's also crazy. Even if you did, like, you're actively, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because, like, you're saying you're doing whatever, you're trying to do whatever you can to help the situation and rectify the situation and things like that. But then you're not cooperating with the police so that they can do their job. But y'all were the motherfuckers that let him get away, let him walk away. Y'all had terrible security that allowed him to do this in the first place, banned her other security that stopped some shit like this from happening the first time. Like, overall, this is your fault, and then you not doing anything to help that's making it worse.
Name, which, as far as I'm aware, is like a very common company thing where they'll be, they don't want to give out names of potential people involved in crimes because then that person could maybe sue them for giving their name to police. I don't know, something like that. That's what
that's something that could be something, but also when you're the root cause of why this shit happened in the first place, I feel like it's best to participate.
My lawyer said. But basically, they were, Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work on the case right away. So, yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday.
Was there any cameras? Nigga, there was plenty of videos. There was plenty of videos showing what happened at the situation. That's why it blew up so much. There was plenty of videos showing what happened. And that nigga was in the back of a bunch of people's streams, and they literally watched. You can see in multiple clips on the stream of him walking out of TwitchCon. No escort, no police, no security, just walking out. Like, they just let him go.
They're like, yeah, we're working on the warrant, but right now, that's all we can really do, but we're trying our best. Just want to let you know, we're gonna keep you in the loop and everything. I was like, okay. I was very frustrated because I was like, damn, I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then I believe it was the next day. There was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying oh, I'm, traveling to Texas, and I caused quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly.
Wow.
And this whole time my manager was basically begging Twitch, dude, please give us his name. We don't know who this person is. For all we know, he lives or—
So a subscriber or a fan was able to help more than Twitch was. Is that not insane? You know who they is. You banned them for 30 days. You banned them from the con. You won't help the cops, but you what?
Around where Emmy and her roommates live. I can't help her if I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it. But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police.
Finally.
But not my manager, as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so.
Okay. I mean, that's a step, but okay.
The investigation's still going on, but it's been a huge mess because of all of the delays and refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't
this is terrible
say too
PR.
much about it. All this that I'm saying, obviously, I ran by my lawyer and stuff. And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure that me and my roommates, who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying for security stuff, making sure we're protected.
Damn.
Again, my manager's been taking care of that all of her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that. And yeah, that's so where it is right now.
That's just another that's so insane how you have to. She has a whole nother bill she has to worry about now because she doesn't know who this motherfucker is. If he knows that where she lives, anybody that's not well enough and parasocial enough to do that in the middle of a con in front of a bunch of people, you never know what they'll fucking do. You see what I mean? So now you have another bill trying to protect yourself because you don't even know who this person is.
I can't say like too much about what, you know, me and my lawyer are doing, but my hope is really that there's some kind of like public resolutions that people who like have seen this and like know about everything that's happened can feel better about it. Because like I said, I don't feel like it's just about me. Like it could have been anyone that it happened to, like a small streamer who's not as lucky to have the resources or like, you know, the reach that I have. So it's very scary and yeah, just very, very frustrating. And yeah, I don't know where that's gonna go. I'm sure that, you know, they're probably, I would speculate, not very happy with me for talking about all this, but I feel like it's not fair to keep it hidden from all the people
Exactly.
who literally had to witness it because of Twitter and Reddit and all these things. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, obviously. You guys know I was super grateful that the guy posted it, got, you know, spread around so that I didn't have to figure out how to talk about it myself. But
yeah, that's because like you know what's so crazy? Niggas tried to downplay, but when it was those three, and they got attacked. And they got attacked at the pier. Niggas was trying to downplay it, but like this is really a problem. Niggas is weird out here. And like if that wasn't caught on camera, and she tried to come on camera and talk about her experience, if that wasn't caught on camera, they'd probably be like, nah, she lying, man. She just want attention. No, nigga, this happens. Thank God somebody was recording.
yeah, I'm just, it's a lot. It's been really heavy this week, but obviously I've been getting a lot of support from my friends and other streamers, and obviously my manager,
Type shit.
people that I work with, my employees and such.
Let me see. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
So the next thing, at the end of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But I feel like those things, developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident, have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So,
Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn, she had to flip the page.
I've already seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like
Half right.
5 to 10% right.
Damn.
I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew
Fully.
or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious. And I feel like it's going to change things forever.
Shit.
And so today, I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time. I'm gonna be doing a lot of I guess you could say like fourth wall breaking in a way and talking about things that I thought would always be personal and just, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail.
Damn.
That Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it.
Ooh.
And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter.
Ooh. So. Ooh. No. Okay. She wasn't even going to say this information, but he's doing it again to the point where she's coming forward so he won't do it again. Oh, man.
And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet, and I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused.
What?
At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits since I—
What the fuck? What? Nigga had a plan. He had a plan for the smear. Oh no.
I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably gonna come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months.
Damn.
But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
This isn't a video.
So
this is a previous live.
All the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream. I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end.
Shit.
To try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on.
Wait,
Also,
is she about to pull up receipts?
going to be showing a few screenshots.
Oh shit, she
validating
about to
what I'm
pull up
saying.
receipts. Oh fuck. Oh. She had a drive. Oh fuck.
I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And, I will be running
Oh
through this later.
shit. That nigga's cooked. He's
Another
fucking
thing that I'd like
cooked.
to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators
Ooh.
who were
Oh, shit.
present for certain things.
Oh shit.
And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their
Oh,
names,
shit.
but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them
Oh
about it.
shit, GG's.
There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did.
Damn.
And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no. A lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything.
Shit.
Okay. I think that's, all that I have to get out of the way to start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in, sorry, I'm still sick, like I said. Okay. This is, all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because, he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there.
Bro, that's so crazy how like this is a consistent thing. This is so insane.
I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022, after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very
I'm gonna speed it up, chat.
For
it's at
feelings
1.25.
of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream.
Oh.
So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw.
It was slow at the start, and then it goes straight to throw. That's slow? Oh.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed.
He was angry.
A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was.
Shit.
But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about 1.5 years from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. You know, it makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things. For a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. we were sharing drops. So it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like,
wait, so they were together for damn near 2 years?
But, it'll make sense in a bit.
We're watching a VOD abrasive.
I'm live. He's live. We're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Ms. raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event. So there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real. But, yeah.
Wow.
He starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's, like, wondering where you are. But, yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live.
Over some viewers, bro.
And in that house, I had a glass door, so I could like see this was happening.
Wait. Say it again.
He was wrong. And in that house,
I
ended the stream, and then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door, so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
So you could see him.
I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me.
Okay.
He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening.
Wow.
And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream.
Listen, let me tell you something. All right. Anytime somebody is streaming something that has drops and it's a very important event, please trust that viewership is going to be heightened, right? People love free shit. So the fact that he's mad that she had more viewers, that's definitely probably not her average view count. Most niggas were in there so that they can watch for an hour and get some free shit. That's literally how that works. That's how drops work. So the fact that you're upset at her for having more viewers than you and niggas is more than likely in there for drops is crazy. And at the end of the day, it's Twitch viewers, bro. Your whole career is streaming for, like, being mad at somebody that didn't do anything to you because more people chose to tap in there is crazy.
So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours.
Oh, she's shaking like shit. Look at her arm. Yo, she's nervous as hell. Look at her hand.
What are you doing?
Look at her hand when she does this. She's actually nervous as hell.
And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours. Finish the stream. Do my best to just like, you know, carry on. the show basically.
Doesn't she still live in the stream house? She doesn't live with Mizkif anymore.
And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that. And
hold on, chat, really quickly. I want to look at some clips that I had saved from the situation that I said that I saw. Hold on, bookmarks. Yeah, so this is released footage of Mizkif verbally abusing his friend and threatening harm. Confirms. Okay, hold on.
Again? Huh? You said you could take me 7 times. You didn't listen to yourself. You're drunk and I'm I tried to talk to you with a friend. You're treating me like shit. You think you're like and all you can say is fuck you. And all you can do is say fuck you. You treat me like shit. You said come on. You pulled me out of the car. You said let's go. Again? Huh?
Hold on. Old footage shows Mizkif instructing Twitch modders to ban users criticizing his treatment of Emiru.
yay, we did it.
Hey mods, can you do me a huge fucking favor? Can you start banning literally anybody that ever tells me that I'm being mean to her? I mean, can you give a disclaimer?
It's not being mean. This is just how. Yay, we.
Ugh, yikes, buddy. Well, yeah, yikes, buddy.
And I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about himself while doing it.
Nigga, you want to kill because you ain't in a Mr. Beast video? Like, you want to kill yourself and you're doing 150, putting somebody else's life in danger because you wasn't in a Mr. Beast video.
Okay.
You niggas is weird. It's like, it's never that serious.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure.
What?
There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better.
Yo,
So basically, yo,
okay, nigga. Like, it's not even valid reasons. Like, there's nothing that would warrant any of these. Sometimes niggas get pissed off, they do stupid shit, but it's not even shit that she did to piss you off. There was no reason for you, like, you just want to be angry at that point. She didn't cheat on you, she didn't call you out your name, she's just elevating in life more than you are. Not rubbing it in your face, not saying you ain't shit and she better, nothing. She's just working. She's just putting out content. Literally, you're mad at her for succeeding. Like, what? Oh.
I was kind of stuck
Oh.
in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like
Perform not good enough. And you're gonna shit on her. Perform too well. Yo, this is crazy. You can't win with niggas like that,
a
bro.
very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. Wow. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet.
Damn.
But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was
wow.
a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly
changed his shit
like,
up.
deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it. They were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
It never, like, anybody ever going through this, don't hold on. It never gets better, bro. I'm telling you. If it starts off like this, it never gets better, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house. because he just randomly started like screaming at Cheddar. He was like, "Get that fucking cat out of my house." So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they were like, "Yeah," and then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly,
Type shit.
like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but yeah, after I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, "Oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy," or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll say, be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk from closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He, so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him.
Ain't no fucking way,
And
right?
when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house.
Bro. First of all, nigga, read the room. Nigga, like, you see a girl crying. What? Yo, read, like, read the, she's crying and you trying to fuck. Bro, what is wrong with, like, what is wrong with niggas? He did not give a fuck about her crying. He was trying to get his dick wet, bro. Niggas is weird.
I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And
then not checking.
I was still making,
like, even if you misread the situation, not checking on her, immediately making it about yourself instead of checking on her and be like, oh, I'm sorry if I, you know what I'm saying, I read the room wrong. I thought, you know what I'm saying? Instead of oh, I feel awkward now. Nigga, what?
excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better, and that, you know, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say tell them that I never hit you, make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess
being a terrible, and then make sure you tell them I never hit you.
it's like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
Bro, yo, if you just hate her, leave her alone. That's actually insane. We play this game together, but don't use the same class as me, because if people see you doing better with me than with the same class, people are gonna think you're better. This nigga, his insecurities are insane. Who's she talking about? Mizkif. You won't let her play as a certain character in the game because you don't want the world to see that she might be better than you. This is next level hating, like next level dick suck. This nigga's insecurities are insane. Yo, he gotta have a baby dick, bro. I'm not even gonna cap. That nigga dick gotta be small. Gotta be. That shit gotta be fucking, he has to have a micro penis. Gotta. Cause there's, bro, any regular man would not have any, like, these insecurities that she are listing are actually insane. Like, this is something nobody would ever really get mad about. Fuck, man. My bitch got more viewers than me on stream. Fuck her. My bitch better than me at a game. Like, nigga, that's what you worried about? Yeah. Yeah, you got it, bro. You got it, man.
And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And I actually wanted to
They were together.
Some of those messages.
Oh, yo, she pulling up the messages chat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to, like, kind of show what I'm saying.
How do you know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? Yes, I'm still wanting to be DPS, or for dungeons I have to tank. You really don't what, huh? How can I not tank in dungeons? You straight up don't have to because you're DPS. My group didn't have yeah, I know where this is going and I'm not dealing with it. I asked for a boundary and it's always crossed. You don't know boundaries. In a fucking game? Oh, niggas saying she's crossing boundaries in the game. Jesus Christ. Oh God, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Are these before or these are after? How can I not tank as a warrior in dungeons because you aren't a tank? When I said I don't want to be a tank, I mean I don't want to tank and raid, which is still true because I don't know what I'm doing. You do not need to tank in dungeons. So now I'm going to get so much shit nonstop. Don't ever pull out. Emmy is better. Emmy is this. I can't have anything. Yo, this nigga's dead ass insecure over a fucking game. Yo, like what? How are you this envious of your bitch, bro? Not to call Emmy a bitch, but like I'm speaking in context. But like,
and
don't even worry. I mean, we gonna read it. You don't gotta read it out loud. We gonna read it.
Post the VOD of this somewhere. So if you know.
I don't understand what you want me to do. Not tank. Just that simple. What the does that even mean? You already played warrior when I told you we're going to get compared. Don't pull. I'm gonna pull aggro because I'm a warrior. No, you're not. Another warrior can tank.
You want to read this later?
This thing is very
fine.
insecure.
Yes.
I don't have another warrior in any of my groups today, and no warriors wanting to join. Girl with 27K couldn't find a warrior. You can every time. You just want to tank. I know what you're doing right now, and I'm not dealing with it. There are no warriors asking to join, and why is it bad for me to pull in dungeons? Because now I'm going to get compared nonstop, because now people are just going to say you're better. Because I told you this when you first told me you want to play warrior, and it's already happening. And you just don't care about this stuff ever. There's no boundaries with you.
It's a video game. Oh my god.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Hold on. Where is it? Where? There it is. There it is. There's the button. Nigga, it's a video game. It's a game. It's a fucking video game. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? It's a fucking video game. Shit. Oh my god. Like, that nigga is, yo.
And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me trying to deal with this.
Whoa, damn, girl, you moving too quick. God damn, hold on, give me a second.
While I was live, you can literally go find the stream and see me.
Now we're the same class, same thing, tanks. Dude, don't dude me. I asked for one thing with you. Don't be a tank, and now you're tanking. What can I do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank, Emmy, do it. Don't let me handle all the hate.
Trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon, trying to just play the fucking game.
Don't let me handle all the hate, the criticism, you're worse than Emmy, the Emmy's so much better, the people saying you're better in every chat, the comparison since nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. Yo! No. You're 30. You're about to be 31. You're 30. Going to be 31 in 4 months. Now, mind you, this is also in 24. This is in 2024. This is right return, but he was 29. This was the end of 2024. You were 29 at the time, twin.
Tank, Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, that you're worse than Emmy's. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 20.
World of Warcraft. I couldn't even get the fucking name of the game out. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. For sure. You can't make this shit up.
24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can, read that later, I suppose, if,
Nigga said not
Yeah,
even
like I
Wheel of
said
Fortune.
before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like started within the last couple of weeks.
Wait.
They would be and he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
Nigga, bro, how would you get a career back from something that didn't involve bitches? It was for you saying shit in a car. Wasn't it? Didn't he say some like racist shit in a car and niggas was covering it up or something? How do you expect to get your career back from convincing niggas you get bitches when that wasn't even why niggas was on your head in the first place? How was that getting your career back? For sure.
That was like started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who to this day has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he did something like that, and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So
my thing is, why do y'all get in these relationships if you're so angry? Like if you're so angry, if you feel like you're just like a ball of anger, why do people not seek therapy before they get into these relationships, bro? Like, dead ass. Like, if you feel like mentally you can't handle somebody, like, cause like if you just get angry at the slightest shit, maybe something in your mind like, all right, I need to go to therapy first, and then I can come back to this shit, or something, like something. Probably thinks nothing wrong with him. That shit is crazy to me. I don't know how you think nothing's wrong with you if you act the way you act, bruh.
I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And
too young to focus on friendships.
It was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person, After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But if you think that's the end, it is unfortunately not.
Damn. Oh, GG's.
I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls.
Jesus.
And I'm just gonna show those.
Oh, more messages. Just to make sure you don't have recordings of me, right? I'm getting harassed that you do, and I'm assuming it's nothing. Do you know why I'm removed from everything? Why I'm kicked from OTK? Nobody's answering my calls, and I don't want to bother you, but I'm panicking, and I don't understand what's happening. Recordings of you. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org? I just want to be okay with each other. I don't know if you want to hear from me, but I can't just not message you. I still care about you. If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm so sorry shit like this happened. I'll be up all night if you need to talk. Please. Wait, can we talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry for what I said. Can we talk tomorrow? Hey, I found out you weren't invited to the party. I know you wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do the invites. You were invited, of course, and I hope you're doing okay, and one day we can talk. 4 days later. Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I need this time to be alone. Maybe needed this time, but I really love you so much. I just needed to know what being alone. What? Am I bugging? I needed this time to be alone, but I really love you so much. I just needed to know what being alone, and I learned I needed you. Okay. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much. I don't know what that is right there. And I left, but I know. Okay. I needed it. Okay. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you and only you. I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy. And if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our lives. I want so much with you. Please just hear me out. I wrote out a lot of how I feel. I've been writing so much and learned so much about myself. Damn. Just please, if you can hear me out. I love you so much, Emmy. I've been crying every night without you, and I'm sorry I've done any of this. I've been so depressed without you. Please, just please call me. I'll be up. I would do anything for you. I would come home from Japan right now for you. Can you answer, Emmy? Just at least tell me you moved on. This is... Okay, that was all March. This is April. Hey, will you be willing to talk? Okay, this is April. May. Hey, I know it's been a while. I just want to say that I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think you and I should at least be able to talk and communicate with each other. I'm going to also be doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and I feel like we should be able to be amicable with each other so it's not weird because we're both now doing a lot of collabs. I'm assuming that was... And I feel like it would be really weird considering we're both also in the same, or that we're just not talking to each other at all and have zero communication. I want to come back and for us to at least be okay. I don't want need to talk to you about anything in terms of relationship. I just want to talk to you in terms of business, also just overall collaboration. I think we should have a conversation. If you can call me sometime this week, I think it would be great. Hope you're doing well. If we can't communicate and we're going to continue to not talk, this is only going to get weirder and weirder as both invited to the same things constantly, and we're both involved in Austin activities. It's best for both. You talk to yourself a lot. Can you please answer my phone call? Okay, this was back in March. Jesus, nigga. Oh, damn. This is damn Discord. Okay, this is May. I'm sorry. Not a day has gone by in these last 4 months where your final words to me don't go haven't echoed in my heart. I walked out your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I had missed out on being single in my 30s. Nigga, you just turned 30. Okay. I convinced myself I needed space, freedom, distance, but this is true. The truth is I was afraid of commitment, afraid of what it meant to truly let someone in, and someone as beautiful and kind as you are. So I tried to protect myself from the worst way possible. I pushed you away. I told myself lies to justify it. I said I was bored. I said the relationship would hold me back. I said I don't want to be with just one person, but those weren't truths. They were shields I put up to avoid facing my fears and the parts of myself I haven't yet healed. And in doing that, I lost you. Damn, you talk a lot, nigga. Jesus Christ. The last 4 months have been the hardest of my life. Whenever people may see on the outside, online, or anywhere else, know this, I've been lost without you. I've missed you every single day. I've cried more times than I can count just thinking about your smile, your laugh, the way you say merp, or making those little sounds when you were happy. I even had to unfollow you at one point, not because I wanted to forget you, but seeing you reminded me so painfully how badly I messed up. I love you, Emmy. I always have, and I know now I never stopped. I know our time together was far from perfect. My mental health weighed heavy on both of us, and I'm so sorry for what I put you through. You carried more than you ever should have had to, but I'm working on myself now, really working. I've started treatment. I'm on Lexapro and what the fuck is that? I clicked unpause by. And for the first time in a long time, I feel clarity. My emotions aren't running wild anymore. I think more clearly. I feel steadier. I'm learning to be the man you always believed I could be. And now that I see things clearly, I know it's about a shadow of doubt. You're the love of my life. Every night we spend together watching shows, every silly conversation about chatter, every time we walked into your room as we were about to go live, I cherished it all. You brought color and joy into my life in ways I didn't fully appreciate until I lost you. And I hate that I let fear and pain and pride blind me at how lucky I was to have you. I mean, if you still have any space in your heart for me, I would spend the rest of my life making things right, loving you the way you've always deserved to be loved. This time fully, I'm leaving for LA, but I would make it work with you, even if we can start small. It's always been Matt and Emmy, and still could be if you'll have me. Instagram. Can we please talk while you're here? A simple conversation would go very far for both of us. The lack of communication is very confusing. How is it confusing? She don't want to talk to you. If somebody don't reply to your messages, that means they don't want to talk.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And
Jesus.
just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message. Because doesn't really matter, but I ran it through a ChatGPT checker.
This nigga ain't even sincere with his love. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, boo. Boo this man. Boo this nigga. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I'm not gonna lie. By the grammar in that motherfucker, these little dashes right here, and all of that shit right there, I was like, this seems very AI-ish. But I was like, I'm gonna let him have it. But holy shit.
And all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting. But, yeah.
Niggas is
like I said
laughing
at
at him in
first,
the chat.
the messages were just simple things. Like, him saying he was worried about things, or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication, and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person, Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went no contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just
Ignore him.
let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right?
Oh shit.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid.
Ah, kitty.
But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room, and then after he...
Wow, you're corny. She brushed that off as it was, like, just a one-off thing. But no, you were actively going and checking every room to see. You're really, like, weird.
Opened the room that you were in with Nick. He closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay,
Did he think Nick and Kachi was gonna fucking something?
The next story, that I want to tell involves...
How old is Emmy? I don't know, actually.
What happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier
Oh,
this year.
she was there!
We were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier.
That was her. So, chat, you remember when I was telling you about how niggas tried to downplay? Bro, niggas was trying to downplay what happened to them, even though it was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, like on some serious shit, like she might need like 24-hour protection. There's too many instances where her life was put in danger.
Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop. Yeah, so... Yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are gonna talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream,
Kitty.
he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself.
Oh my god.
And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird, it puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like a hero. Yeah. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came.
Cat bad as fuck. I'm sorry. My cat do this same shit. And I'll be like, cut it out. Cat about bad as fuck. Shout out Bonnie, though.
All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that, because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him.
Damn.
Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend.
I'm taking out of sub-only mode. I don't really care. I know there's a lot of people that want to speak, and they can. I have no problem with that. This is a very serious situation that I was told. I know a lot of other people are saying things about me as well on top of this, but
this is live
this is
right
the thing
now.
I want to talk about. So let's talk about it, shall we? And then we can go into it. Okay. So this is April of 2021. Okay, I'm gonna write everything down. Everyone, just chill and let me hear this out. Okay. We met online when we were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy. I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know this. I was playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with, so we started hanging out. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya. Me and Maya broke up. I broke up with her because the relationship felt stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and we hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted a streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I'm telling you everything, chat, okay? Come on. I'm telling you the whole story. Sit down and relax, all right? Take a seat. I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make content, and the guy will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her in her Kansas home by herself. From there, our relationship started growing very fast. Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over again, Season 1. I loved it because she made me feel like because it felt like my childhood and a place of calmness.
Is he reading the script?
She would fall asleep in my bed. With some nights, we would touch our backs or legs together. We knew we liked each other. We just knew it was a bad idea.
Now, I'm not going to be...
Talks of her joining OTK happened fast as well.
I'm not going to be too far on his head because she had notes, but like a full script is kind of crazy.
Nobody was allowed to know. Streamers as well were already starting to resent me, saying that it was a shitty thing that I moved Emmy in so fast and replaced Maya so quickly.
Oh, don't be...
If people found out we were dating, I could be
follow
hated
him,
by my peers and lose what I created in OTK. I didn't know if we were going to date, and I knew if we were going to make it happen, it was going to be very stressful. But I had no idea what was going to come. It was the beginning of January of 2022. Emmy just had her huge party in an arcade celebrating her birthday on stream. Everyone from Austin was there, and as we were celebrating her joining OTK, there was a huge scare.
Niggas is calling him
Someone
Matt
outside in the parking
GPT.
lot rammed into my Audi R8 and drove off. And while we were outside thinking it was a schizo viewer, we were told that the person who just hit my car was now inside holding a gun. This scared us to no end. Me and Connery's pants ran inside in fear to get everyone out and make sure everything is okay. My first concern was Emmy. I wanted her to be safe. The cops came, the drunk driver did have a gun, and was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. Me and Emmy were terrified that night, and on the way home, I grabbed her hand, and she grabbed mine, and we knew we were trauma bonded, and we didn't want to let go. We would wake up together, stream together, and hang out with each other all night. She quickly became my best friend, and someone that I felt for the first time I was in love with. We hung out all day, every day. We were always so happy with each other.
That's not funny.
Playing games until the night,
Bruh.
loving every moment we were with each other. It felt poor. Jack, relax. I remember one day I left my house. She called me just so we can be on the phone together, as we always did. And we were
Somebody
playing a song
said in the
called Fall in
chat,
Love
just
with You.
don't kill
Elvis came
yourself,
on,
please.
And I felt that love. First time I felt love for a girl. And
I'm
I thought
legit
I'd
leaving
want
if we
it to
stay on
never
this
let
much
it go.
longer. I would be honest, I want to get the full story, twin.
The first year of
So
our
you
relationship,
can
we
leave
almost
if you
had
gotta
no
go.
fights. We started
It sounds like he's reading a fanfic. Low key. This looks like, it sounds like a what a pad ass story.
perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat. I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone. That's it. And when that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said,
Chat, what y'all believe this? Y'all believe that?
water bottles with her on my or my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. That's it. I did feel a lot of stress over the time of our relationship up until this point from her stalkers. From the ones that would show up at her old house, and also stalkers that just had from her TikTok postings. We found after being with each other that her stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content. These people were schizophrenic and would think that she is talking to them. Whether it was songs she played, the way she looked at the screen, or just the titles of the videos, these people started to feel she was talking to them and come to our house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only me, but the house. Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us. She agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that if I had a problem to let her know. And at first it was minor things here and there, but over time it got harder and harder to deal with. There were more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems. Would you guys stop spamming never sub, never donated? Okay, relax.
Oh, damn. The chat. He put the chat.
I told her if we were going to be serious about this relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to
21K.
hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK and can cause
What
a
about
ton
Clint?
of problems in
Wait,
my
hold
life.
on.
So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me, and everyone in OTK. And that was very hard for me to do.
Stay strong, Miz. This will pass.
We had a doggy door between our rooms just so we can hide it from everyone else, including my roommates. We would lock the doors to avoid our roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong and we knew we could handle it. So, in September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong, but that destroyed my mental health. I felt like my brain cracked, and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends. Emiru was one of the only people that were there for me. She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan.
Dry our lips.
She went with me anywhere I needed because she wanted me to be happy.
Like I said, dry ass lips.
Out, but she loved me and she knew I was in a terrible mental place. It got so bad that stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan. As this time happened, I was a massive wreck. I couldn't think straight, and being that Emiru hung out with me all day, she too started to become high-strung. Ugh.
Nigga said, you good, bud.
We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge
I'm not gonna lie, them
strain,
Pogger niggas got a lot
but I
of
thought
drama.
it could be fixed over time since things were just so amazing that first year. But I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of remote only mode.
What? Gay?
As we stayed around longer, I started
alright,
resenting
dude.
her a lot more.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this.
I'm over here
Emiru has a
stroking
lot
my
of
dick. I
rabbits.
got lotion
It was
on
her
my
calling
dick
when she
right
first
now.
moved
I'm
in.
just stroking-
Nah, bro. Nigga said, I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now, and I'm stroking my... These niggas play too fucking much. Yo, wait. The last one... Oh, fuck.
Really? No, it's Sora AI. I have an entire video made. What is wrong with you, chap?
Hold on.
These people thought in their heads they were dating her.
Hold on.
They were out thinking about the same things over and over, fight and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt
Hold on.
I'm over here
Emiru has,
Wait.
You got
but as
this
we stayed
mix.
around longer,
This-
I started resenting her a lot more.
This message, you got this, Ms. We believe you, said no one. These niggas in there trolling.
I never want to talk about this.
These
I'm
niggas
over
is...
here
Emiru has a
stroking
lot
my
of
dick. I got
rabbits.
lotion
It was
on
her
my
calling
dick
when she
right
first
now.
moved
I'm
in.
just stroking my shit.
These
I'm
were a
horny
big
as
part
fuck
of her
and
life.
I am a freak
But
on
as those
mine.
rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come
Holy
over,
fuck, I am
would
going
give
to
them
come
what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits.
Oh yeah, we're on the rabbits part. Okay. We're on the rabbits part. Okay. She did say that he said that they were gonna claim that he was gonna claim that she something with the rabbits. Okay, we're on the rabbits part.
I'm over here
Emiru has a
stroking
lot
my
of
dick. I got
rabbits.
lotion
It was
on
her
my
calling
dick
when she
right
first
now.
moved
I'm
in.
just stroking my shit.
These
I'm
were a
horny
big
as
part
fuck
of her
and
life.
I am a freak
But
on
as those
mine.
rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come
Holy
over,
fuck, I am
would
going
give
to
them
come
what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits. So much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
These niggas play too much.
I didn't even know there was TTS going on. Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting. This is a video from my own brother. I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt bad, and my brother once came over and said that if I marry her, he'll never forgive me.
Can you give me the win?
In fact,
Okay.
when Maya came over during my cancellation, she actually commented on Emiru's rabbits and said, "These rabbits are completely neglected and this is disgusting." Emiru wouldn't clean the cages, and the smell became so bad that we started to have the rabbits just be outside. I told her if that's the case, she's got to make sure she's giving them water, because they are her responsibility. Instead, these rabbits were left outside in 100-degree heat with no food or water or anything. Most of the time being in cages with no bedding besides poop all over the place. Emmy didn't care. She would sit inside and play League of Legends all day, and what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother, and I couldn't see myself marrying her.
Clearly, it didn't matter.
The fights from these times started to get worse.
Clearly, it didn't matter that much because you tried to get back with her at multiple occasions. There's multiple messages of you saying she's the love of your life and this and that, and you want to spend the rest of your... You tried to get back with her on multiple occasions, so clearly that's not the case.
I would constantly want to be farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her or end things. She was a co-owner of my org, the only person I knew, and the strain of the relationship and hiding the relationship was really taking a toll on me. On top of that, the stalkers were getting worse. One stalker came to my house, and I had to point a gun at him for 30 minutes until the cops came.
She said that wasn't...
These stalkers are no joke, and the pressure from the relationship, the anger I felt, and the stalkers as a whole really made us lash out at each other. She would tell me that she doesn't realize what she's doing, that she didn't understand what she was doing wrong. But I would constantly tell her, on and off stream, that she needs to do more because these stalkers are getting worse. I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space, but she still wanted me around at all times. She would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. She always wanted me to drive over to her house, but I never wanted to because I wanted to be alone. And that increased our fights, but the stalkers continued, and I got even more stressed.
Nigga said, ChatGPT said, add tears here. Nah, Burner, you funny. Burner, that's funny as fuck. That's funny. You funny. That was good.
Started to take pictures of me whenever I would drive to her house. They knew my every movement. I couldn't take it. Between the rabbits, the stalkers, and the overall ability to handle situations with each other, I knew this wouldn't last. But I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out. As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the house because he was attacking my cat. Every month went by the last year, and our fights started to get louder. We were breaking up with each other almost weekly. Fights were getting more aggressive, and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to during
Punching holes in walls, clothes and plushies. Holes in walls, plushies. Committing slip and slide because of some squishmallows. Nah, y'all funny, bro.
an argument. But Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening.
Wait. Say that
Told
again?
me she would constantly say she's going to punch holes in the walls or slam doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening. And I'm just going to leak everything because I don't really care. This is the situation. I told her that a stalker's at the house. I'm freaking out. What is happening? Can you call me? I'll call you. I literally want to kill myself. I can't take this anymore. I feel so alone and like a problem. So just want to show this.
Okay, wait. Saying you're gonna kill because you have a wait, hold on. He's trying to take the I'll kill myself route. But like, you were saying you wanted to kill because she had more viewers than you. And she was doing better than you. She's saying she wants to kill herself because this is a problem. And she feels like she's being a burden. So like, there's levels to this. It's like, yours was jealousy ridden out. Hers is, bro, I keep having these stalkers. My life, like, you feel like my life is a problem. Like, I want to end this. It's like, it's not the same level of saying you want to kill is crazy, but it's not the same level. It's not the same level.
She was also using the I want to a lot in our situation and relationship. This is while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers. This stalker who was at my house, his background picture was Emiru, and when he talked to the cops, he was in love with her and thought that she was talking to him.
What the fuck?
It is disgusting what these stalkers can do. I will say this. The fact that this guy came to my house.
Even still, though, like, I still stand on the point that I feel like she needs 24/7 security. Deadass. Like, stalkers showing up at your house while, you know, like, you deadass. Like, even I still stand on that. Like, that stalker shit. Multiple stalkers over the, like, that really is a problem. I'll definitely stand on that. That's a problem. You need 24/7 security, bro.
And the result of it was a cop brought him down the street to a QT, which is a 7-Eleven, 15 minutes away, and that's all they did. Is terrifying for these girls and terrifying for the situation in general. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset. She admitted that she made me upset with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food, and then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, We were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress, and we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want, and Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper. I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true. This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you." That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have messaged her numerous times wondering why I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking
Why did you say, does she have any recordings of you?
to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong, and began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep. Going from being with each other for 3 years straight and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating. I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress I've had away. I've also moved from Austin myself, and I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false, but I do hope nothing but the best for her, and I'm sorry that any of this happened. I hate that we're in this situation, and I hope that she can move on. I have messaged her numerous times wondering why I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong, and began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep. Going from being with each other for 3 years straight and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating. I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress I've had away. I've also moved from Austin myself, and I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false, but I do hope nothing but the best for her. And I'm sorry that any of this happened. I hate that we're in this situation, and I hope that she can move on. We were in a toxic relationship. I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend and I have a lot to work on for myself. I've been single for the past 10 months and I plan to stay that way. I'm continuing to go to therapy and work on myself, not just for me, but for the people around me. If you're wondering if it's scripted, the answer is, of course it is. I wrote it out because I cannot freeball this. This is a very serious situation. I want to make this real, and that's it. Okay? I am going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have that I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild.
Oh shit. GG's, chat. Bro, chat, the poggers community is about to be in fucking shambles. The poggers community, if he about to go and leak shit with other niggas, you didn't hear what he just said? He said, I have messages with other people and other things I'm gonna be leaking over the next couple of days. So all these OTK pogger niggas, oh, that shit's about to, oh, Jesus.
But I want to make it very clear. When it comes to Emiru, when she says that I was getting ready to go after her and that I was going to use her rabbits against her, that was never the plan. My plan for myself was very simple. If Emmy were to say something about me, I would say something back. That's it. I never had a plan in my life to go after her or do anything. It was if she ever said anything, I would say something as well. And that's completely understandable. Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen. Because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry, I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did. And if you're in Austin, Texas, and you want to say that she didn't abuse those rabbits at my house, you're lying. You know she did. She abused those rabbits and she let them outside. And it's disgusting. And I didn't want to bring this up ever. This was not something I planned on bringing up in my life. But it's something that she claims that she didn't do, and people are trying to defend her from that. Like Asmongold, where he says that one of her rabbits she took and brought around. What about the other 6 rabbits that died? As for what happened with me and Emiru, it is I mentally have been fucked up for years. And I'm very proud of myself for working on myself. And I think leaving Austin was the best thing, not just for me, but for everyone around me. I do believe that.
You niggas suck. Oh my God.
I fucked up a lot. And I'm never going to not admit that. And I realized I need to be alone. I never got kicked out of Austin, Texas. I left myself. You're still mentally fucked? I am. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel angry. I feel that every day I'm trying to learn more and more and do better. But I'm going to stand up for myself in a lot of these situations because a lot of it was not true. And I don't like that she was portraying that it was just me who was at fault. It was a toxic relationship, and that's what it was. Why was viewership so important? I will bluntly say this, and I'm very honest. I was, and I still am, but I very much was someone that was massively obsessed with streaming and viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed with streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting, and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. you guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've always been this way. I've been very envious of other people. And it's a problem. It's a serious. I'm definitely way better than I was now, or I am now. But it's a serious problem that I am still working on to this day. I am not perfect, and I fucked up with that. I've been this way for a very fucking long time, where I'm a competitive dude, and I think I'm very competitive with streaming because I really care about it a lot. I've sunk my whole life into this thing. So, did you really drive 150 miles an hour? I'm going to say this very clear. If you know me in Austin, Texas, I drive fast everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Shut up, nigga.
I drive fast literally everywhere. I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas, where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I do. I don't even remember what situation she was talking about.
Oh,
I mean,
brother.
we were in cars with each other all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport, and she was in her blue Corvette, and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway when she was getting mad, and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying. But I'll say this as well. I have no problem admitting
Yeah,
fault.
he definitely drove 100
The
plus.
person that
150
I
plus.
was during that relationship, and I would say the Mizkif in Austin, Texas is fucking disgusting. I hated myself. I hated this person that just sat there all day, stressed and angry and mad at the fucking world. I hated being this upset person because I know you are who you hang out with. And I definitely changed Emmy in a lot of ways and made her very stressed as well. And mentally, the situations we were in, it just cataclysmed both of us. I was a very toxic person, and I knew I needed to get out, so I broke up with her. In fact, I broke up with her twice. The first time I broke up with her, I really thought it was over. And the second time I broke up with her was forever. I did message her a lot afterwards, primarily for OTK stuff, but...
not primarily for OTK stuff. Because maybe 2 of those screenshots was shit about OTK. The rest of that was you confessing your undying love. Let's not do that. We saw the messages.
There were times where I did want to go back to her. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. I was drunk. I thought I needed to, but yeah. That's it. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. That's it. I said what I had to say. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will be back. I'm not leaving anytime soon.
Ooh, that is a good question. Shout out to whoever put that in the chat. Apparently, right now, you're treating someone the same exact way you treated Emmy back in the day, and that's why she came out with this information. Who are you treating like that right now? Let's talk about that.
I'm gonna go relax. It's been a pretty rough day. No, we're not doing top 500. Okay. All right. That's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, shit. Jesus, bro. This drama
My friend
shit.
is going live talking about more of my personal stuff, and I'm like crying, and Senna and Ray are like what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, told him to stop
note.
talking about his information. Okay.
I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into, he finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Cinna and Ray's whole stream. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert. He only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting and calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things.
Wow.
Almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just
The ego. She's probably she's not fucking no other guy. She's waiting for me.
really fucking gross stuff like that.
The ego.
And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters, it's just interesting. He started kind of getting scared that I might have been telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. Even something happened this weekend. At TwitchCon, one of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means.
Here's my thing. A guilty nigga doesn't ever need to have a backup plan, if that makes sense. If she tries to talk about me on stream, why would you think she would talk about you on stream in that way unless you did that's literally your guilty conscience speaking. Yeah, if she talks about the situation, I'll destroy her. Are you good? I get wanting to defend yourself, but trying to threaten that you will destroy her, even if she, it's not like something that was on a whim you had to defend yourself out of nowhere. No, you're mentally preparing to defend yourself in this situation because you know she got some shit on you and you're gonna, is that not crazy?
And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. Right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear. I've spent the last year of my life, cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So,
Damn.
So I always tried to keep things private.
Yeah, he never denied anything. He shifted a lot of blame on her.
You know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already. As I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary stream because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And, yeah, that's my story of, dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and, stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people.
Damn.
And, yeah, I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone, but sorry, voice crack. I know talking about this probably won't make him or, probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone, but, I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And, it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that, not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening.
Yeah. That's just a bad situation. So I've been seeing some clips. Let me see what's going on Twitter. Let's look, bruh. Asmon's goes last words about Mizkif before ending stream.
I'll correct things.
Oh, well, hold on. Let's see. Your rage brings up an old clip of Arkin Yugi rage baiting Mizkif by talking about how happy Emiru is after distancing herself from him. He noticed how upset and uncomfortable he got when they brought her name up. Hold on.
We weren't even dating, dumbass.
Well, of course, bro. Queen Emiru's not dating someone like you.
By the fucking gods. Hell no. Fuck no. God no. Jesus no.
He's actually so
Hell
mad.
no.
He's
Oh my god,
so
look
mad.
at
Look at his face.
Look. Ah!
Nah, he's dead ass pissed. Holy shit, he's dead ass pissed.
Well, of course, bro. Queen Emiru's not dating someone like you.
By the fucking gods. Hell no. Fuck no. God no. Jesus no.
He's actually so
Hell
mad.
no.
He's pissed.
He's
Oh my god,
so
look
mad.
at
Look at his face.
Look how you looked.
Bro.
Look. Ah!
He's so mad. He's so mad.
By the gods!
Oh, that one cut deep, miss.
By the yummy shit!
No. Hell no.
Hell no.
Don't even say that word.
Yo, he's like, if these cameras were on right now, I'll call y'all in right now. I'll fucking call y'all.
Take Emiru to the gun range.
Oh
We
no.
weren't even dating.
That is, wow.
Wait,
The open message to Miz. Fuck off. Have some dignity and retire. Like, I really, I
Knew
mean,
wait, knew it was gonna be something really bad when Mizkif posted the video the other day, desperately trying to get some support before she decided to speak out. Wait, what did he post?
that's my honest, like, you know, what advice do you have? There it is.
What did he post? Says
It's, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but and so it always was bad vibes. I mean, you know, in a way, like, there's a part of me that feels kind of responsible in a way, because, like, I wish I had just known more. If I was able to just know more and be more assertive and, you know, everything, but
damn. Wait, someone leaked a clip of Mizkif's friend exposing him for cheating on Maya Higa multiple times, leading to their break. Wait, whoa. Wait, whoa.
Okay, so him and Maya's real breakup reason was while he was with her, he didn't love her or anything. He was just keeping her around for content, and every girl he flew into that house, he was just fucking them while he was still with Maya. Every single, like, OF girl or whatever he was having on the stream, he was just having sex with them. Well, he was dating her for a while. It was just at the end, he started just, every girl he would have over, he would just fuck when their relationship was going bad, when she was still living there. And then when we were in that call, the whole time, he was just begging him to delete the tweet because it was bad for his org, and he really wanted to keep Crazy Slick around. He couldn't lose his best friend. I said he sexually assaulted the girl. Because I was there, dude, when I brought Mitch and Maya over, and I was there when Maya, like, was trying to get her to downplay the story. And because of Mizkif, this dude was able to just be a creep to even more girls.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Emiru embarrasses Mizkif on Super Mario while dating before the NDA expiration of her exposing him now.
What's he trying to do?
Dude, why are your settings like this? These aren't even the default settings.
Oh, she's dead as a better gamer. No, no. No. Is this why he was so angry? Is this why he was angry? Because she's dead ass a better gamer? Someone made a video on Mizkif suddenly having a drop in emotions after his view account dipped below Emiru's while streaming a Rust event. Ooh. Mizkif rages over Emiru's Rust stream viewership.
Fucking take it.
Would you like some raw pork?
Wait.
A little bit.
Got raw pork.
Wait. Mizkif had 1,300. She has 75. I mean, not 1,300. He had 13,000. She has 75,000.
I'll fucking take it.
Now, mind you, she has drops on. He also has drops exclusive. Okay.
Some raw pork?
Yeah, I'll fucking take raw pork. Not bad, huh?
Okay, she's happy. Ooh, 25,000. 19,000.
Wait, our house is literally
The biggest sweats, you retard. They're the biggest sweats.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it, dude. We'll join the resistance. A little bit.
Damn. Wait, what? Wait. Now, yo, so much shit is popping up on a timeline. It's actually insane. Anyone is still associated with him is a fucking weirdo too. Los Polo said this 11 months ago. Motherfuckers tried to defend Mizkif. Motherfucker needs to be put in prison. Wait.
This guy's a...
Wait. Oh, that nigga is loud. Jesus Christ. Hold on. What does this say? You still all in the RV? No, we're on the road. I don't know what's going on. I just want to drink. This guy's a... Whoa! Hispanic slur. Keep it on the DL.
What? Like, this... First of all...
Oh, this is when that shit happened.
This alleged shit. I'm not even going to get into this. I've seen videos...
This is when all that shit came out. And he was saying the hard R. Damn. This nigga kind of sucks. A refer... Oh, hold on. God damn, bro. So many clips are coming back up, bro.
What was happening? My viewers were dropping. Maya's were only going up. And there was a part of me that thought that I was going to be smaller than her. And I don't know if it was my ego or what, but I couldn't take it. I felt like shit. And I was on the phone with Austin. And then XQC, I somehow got on a call with him. And he talked to me for hours, making me feel better about it. And he did. And I genuinely, after talking to him, felt a lot better.
Is it misogyny at this point? Like, can a woman not be better than you at streaming? Especially one that you're in a relationship with, can they not be, like, your ego is insane. Like, the niggas around you can be better at streaming, but if you're with a woman and she's doing better than you, you start losing your fucking mind.
And I don't think he even realizes what he did for me in that call, but he really did help me a lot. I was nonstop. It's all I could think about is that she was beating me as a streamer and I was going to die. But then he reminded me that women have a cap and men just grow as streamers, and that's pretty much just fucking it. So, felt a lot better after that. I really did.
That made you feel better. That your girlfriend, that a nigga said your girlfriend has a cap and you're going to keep growing, so that made you feel better as a streamer. You fucking suck. Women have a cap, they do. Let's be fucking honest. They do. Let's be fucking honest. Let's be for real. There's for sure a cap on women streamers. There is. This is a male-dominated space. A woman is never going to be the most subscribed. It is male-dominated. This is a male-dominated site. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's very true. However, that nigga saying it made him feel better to know that his girlfriend has a cap on how she can grow and that you would continue growing, that made you feel better, is so insane. Yeah, he's actually a fucking loser. That's very loser. That's such loser fucking behavior. That's actually insane.
So thank you to XQC. I admire him a lot as a streamer, you know? He definitely sets the bar when it comes to the amount of hours you're willing to put into streaming and the...
Yeah, nah, that nigga's a fucking loser. That's, I'm gonna be honest, bro, that shit should drop your coochie, bro. No cap. If you ever think, maybe I give Mizkif a chance. You see that clip, that should draw your coochie up to let you know that nigga never wants you to do better than him. Literally, that fueled his ego, made him feel better that he knew in his mind that his girlfriend at the time will never surpass him in views. That made him feel better. That should draw your coochie up. No cap. Like, these niggas are like, that's fucking terrible, actually. Like, yeah, there's a cap, and I'm glad niggas are acknowledging it, but to say that it made you feel better to know that there's a cap is crazy. But yeah, that's enough of the Emiru situation. This is gonna be a long ass video. Sorry, y'all. A long ass video.